Today, guys, I'm going to show you why you should be using the GROZA in Warzone and why it might just become your new favorite weapon. Hey guys, it's FourEyes Dave here. Welcome back to another video. Today, we are taking a look at what I believe to be the most slept on gun in Warzone right now. Obviously, the meta is developing. We've got a lot of snipers in the meta, and with snipers being so prominent, we need guns that pair well with those snipers. Typically, that means we're not looking at those long-range ARs as much. We're not looking at those really close-range SMGs or shotguns. We're looking at those guns which sit in the middle and cover that kind of close to medium range. Guns like the MP7, guns like the FFAR, which has been stomping through the meta and every streamer's using at the moment. But then there's also the GROZA, which barely anyone's using, and today we're going to go through the best class that you should be running on it right now and why it is an absolute monster. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe down below and click the notification bell to be notified of all my new videos when they come out every week. Also, check me out over on Twitter. I post all sorts of random chat over there. It'd be nice to have some conversations with some of you guys about Warzone and other things in relation to gaming, content creation, and YouTube in general. So the GROZA, why are we not seeing this gun used more? Because I barely see anyone use this, and having now leveled it up and put the right attachments on it, I'm actually baffled by how good this gun really is. I think the main reason we're not seeing it that much is probably because it's a battle pass weapon. It's also a Cold War weapon, so those guns take ages to level up. So a lot of people just aren't really going for them. They've already leveled up their other guns. They've already leveled up their FFAR to pair with their sniper. And so they're just saying, wow, this gun's really good. And yeah, the FFAR is really good, but they're not trying that GROZA out. And so we're going to start off today with a comparison between the GROZA and its closest competitor, which is the FFAR at the moment. Looking at base weapon stats, this is before we're starting to chuck on attachments, but this is all important stuff to look at. We're seeing a lot of improvements across the board from using the GROZA over the FFAR. Mainly we're looking at ADS speed improvements, movement speed improvements, reload time improvements. So overall, the GROZA is just a quicker gun to use in the FFAR, which I really value when I'm pairing it with one of those like longer range, slower guns like a sniper. You know, the GROZA will just allow you to maneuver a lot quicker, get the drop on enemies, and just react quicker in different situations. The things like tactical sprint to fire time, normal sprint to fire time, bullet velocity, they're all exactly the same, so we're not losing anything from running the GROZA. The mag size is bigger on the GROZA as a base, which in Warzone is a really massive thing. To have a bigger mag size and a quicker gun is unheard of. Typically, if you have a bigger mag size, the gun is just slower. That would make sense, but not for the GROZA. It has a bigger mag size and it's quicker. Now, let's look at the damage ranges. So this is where the FFAR does come out on top. Looking here, we've got the time to kill of the FFAR being a standard amount over all ranges, which is why this gun does tend to absolutely melt people, it seems, at whatever range you fire at it. But the GROZA will actually kill quicker up close, namely up to 31 meters, it will just kill quicker, which is awesome. After 31 meters, it kills 0.04 seconds slower. Sorry, I almost got the time wrong there. 0.04 seconds slower, which I guess is a little bit of a difference, but really what we're looking at is two guns here which kill basically the same amount of time. But the GROZA is easier to control, better recoil, move around quicker, bigger mag size, just everything across the board apart from that tiny bit of damage range that you lose is better for the GROZA. So that's why I think it's just a better gun, and you should really be trying to use it right now. So now let's go for a quick run through of the class that I've come up with for the GROZA. There's a couple of things you can change around here, and I'm going to specify those for you. There's some things which I would recommend you don't change, so just listen to me. We'll go through this very, very quickly, and then you guys can crack on trying to get this gun leveled up and running it in your games. So number one, we're using the GRU suppressor muzzle. This is essentially the same as the monolithic suppressor or the agency suppressor for the Cold War guns. Sound suppression, damage range. It's the go-to attachment. I say this in every single one of my videos that this is just what you run. If you don't want to run a suppressor, you can run something like the compensator or the KGB eliminator to just have better recoil control. But really, the suppressor is always going to help you out, keep you off the map, and allow you to make very aggressive plays without getting third-party too much. So highly recommended there. Barrel, I almost always will go for whichever barrel gives the most bullet velocity, because bullet velocity is a majorly important stat in Warzone. If we're fighting people, yes, we're doing a lot of close range fighting with this gun, but I do find that there are some fights where you're fighting people at slightly longer range, and these bullet velocity attachments, like the GRU composite, which we're putting on here, just make your bullets snap that little bit quicker and mean that you're not trailing bullets, especially on these Cold War guns, which have very low base bullet velocity. Next is the grip, where we're going to be using the Bruiser grip. So the Bruiser grip is an interesting one. It says that it only gives melee quickness, but what people have actually found is that it does give a massive reduction to vertical recoil. So typically people will choose between the Bruiser grip and the Spetsnaz speed, sorry, not Spetsnaz speed grip, just the Spetsnaz grip, which gives a massive amount of horizontal recoil control. Now, usually I would recommend horizontal recoil control as a stat to take, because horizontal recoil control is far less controllable than vertical recoil. Vertical recoil, you can just pull down your mouse. But this gun has a lot of vertical recoil at base, and it doesn't have a huge amount of horizontal. So I like to run the Bruiser grip to reduce the vertical and keep me on target at those medium ranges. Simple. Next, the ammunition. I'm running the Spetsnaz 60-round drum. There is also the VDV 60-round fast mag, which I'm going to test between these when I unlock this one, but I think that this one actually reduces your ADS time a lot more than the normal 60-round drum, and with a gun with a 60-round drum, you don't find yourself needing to reload as much in fights, so I don't mind running the one which doesn't give you the reload quickness. It means that you can absolutely gun through multiple squads, as opposed to the FFAR, which only has 50 rounds. Those extra 10 rounds really make the difference, which is why having 60 rounds is awesome. Now, for the final attachment, there's a couple of things you can run, and this is going to come down to personal preference. I've been running the GRU 5mm laser sight because I really like having the hip fire as an option. When you're playing in those close quarter situations, hip fire is king. You don't have to reduce any kind of field of view or get something in the way of you when you're shooting. You can just spray from the hip and really land a lot of shots. So GRU 5mm laser is the best thing for that. If you're finding yourself doing a lot more kind of ADSing and wanting to strafe around a bit more, then you can remove this laser. Let's take this off, and we can chuck on the SAS combat stock, which will give you improved aim, walking movement speed, and shooting move speed. This is really, really awesome for getting ADS'd and getting that strafe speed around so that you're always on top of fights when you're ADS. So this is really a choice between running for ADS using the stock or running for hipfire with the laser. If you are someone who cannot use this gun without an optic, I find that this gun is really, really awesome without an optic. It has a really nice, it's kind of hard to see, I can't zoom in, but it has like almost like a growl style little pinpoint as its iron sight. But if you don't like the iron sight, you just can't get to grips with it, then you can just not run a stock, not run a laser, and run an optic like the mill stop. But it's not something I do that much. I don't think it's necessary. Just there as an option in case you need it. But this is by far the best GROZA loadout that I've used. Go ahead, try this out in your games, and you will be blown away by how amazing this gun is. And there we go, guys. That is my GROZA class setup. Take this in your games. Absolutely slay people with it. It's a sniper's best friend, and I really think it's better than the FFAR. So if you've enjoyed this video, as I mentioned at the start, then please do leave a like and a comment below. Potentially tell me what you think of the GROZA, or tell me another gun that you want me to cover. Potentially a gun that not many other people are using. I can go in, find some details, and find out what the best class for it and how to use it is. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.